Yes. Now, let us now move to the next question. Let us now move to the next questions. It says now, you must determine the perimeter of triangle PQR to the nearest whole number. Determine the perimeter of triangle PQR to the nearest whole number. Of course, boys and girls, when you talk of the perimeter, you still remember that you are talking about what? You are talking about the distance around the distance around the shape. Of course, now, what is it that we need? Immediately when you say the distance around the shape, it means now we need to use the distance formula. It means we must have the distance of what? The distance of PQ and the distance of QR as well as the distance of PR, right? Yes, we must have the three distance around this because this is a what? This is a triangle, right? Now, boys and girls, it's a 5 minutes question, of course. Please, 5 minutes, then I'm going to give it 4 minutes. Now, I'm going to give it 4 minutes. Then immediately after 4 minutes, then we are going to discuss this one. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with these questions, boys and girls. It's very, very important. Right, thank you, boys and girls. Thank you. I believe now you are done with the question. Of course, determine the perimeter of triangle PQR to the nearest whole number. Right, now let us see now. It means now, first now, since you are going to use the distance formula, we can start now with what? We can start now with PQ. No, we can start now with PQ. Then you can see now PQ there. It's a what? PQ. It's a minus 2. Why minus 2? You will remember now that is PQ, x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1, right? Of course, now we are going to have minus 2 there as well as what? Minus 2 as well as minus 1. Of course, let me write it here so that you can be able to see now minus 1 and 2 there. And Q, coordinates of Q, that will be minus 2 as well as minus 2, right? I think in this way it will be easier for us to see now. If we say this one now, it is x2 and y2, and this is x1 and y1, right? Now, we have minus 2 minus 1, right? And then we must square it plus y2 there. Y2 is a minus 2, and then y1 is a positive 2. Therefore, it's going to be what? It's going to be a minus 2, right? Now, when you simplify this one, it is a minus 2 minus 1. Well, first you multiply 2. Negative times negative is a positive. Now, minus 2 plus 1 is a negative 1. Therefore, we have a negative 1 squared there. The same apply on this side. Minus 2 is a negative 4. Right, of course, negative 1 squared is a positive 1, and now negative 4 squared is a positive 16. Right, when you add the 2, now you get the square root of 17, which is more or less 4 comma what? 4 comma 1. Right, now, what about PR? PR as well. The coordinates of PR there, remember P is a minus 1 and 2, and then the coordinates of R will then be what? The coordinates of R will then be, will then be 3 as well as 0. Right, and now we have x2, y2, and we also have y1, x1 and y1. We also have x1 as well as y1. Then we have 3 minus 1, of course is correct, we square it, and now plus 0 minus 2. Then from here now you can see now 3 minus 1, this now is going to be positive 1. Then 3 plus 1 is 4, and 0 minus 2, that will be minus 2 squared. Of course, now we are going to have what? We are going to have 4 squared is 16, minus 2 squared is 4. Now when I add the 2, they give me 20. Now when I round it off to one decimal place, then it's giving me 4,5, right? That is, of course, the distance of PR. Then now we have QR. Now the coordinates of Q, you said it's a minus 2 and minus 2. And now the coordinates of R, 3 as well as 0. Right, now, from here now you can see this is x2, this is y2, and also this one is x1 and y1. Then you are going to have minus 2, minus 3 there as x1, and we have minus 2 and minus 0 there as our y1. Of course, when I simplify the 2 there, it is minus 5 all squared plus, then you have minus 2 all squared. Then the answer there, minus 5 squared is 25, and minus 2 squared is 4. Please, this negative 1, make sure that you put it inside the brackets, because if you only say minus 2 all squared, it will give you the negative 4, which is not correct. Then 25 plus 4 is equals to 29. Therefore, the square root of 29 there is a 5,4. Right, now, we must answer the question now. What does the question say? The perimeter, that is the distance around the shape. Therefore, now we can now say the perimeter here, the perimeter is equals to the square root of 17 plus the square root of 20 plus the square root of 29. Now we add the 3, we check what is the answer there. The square root of 17, then plus the square root of 20, then plus the square root of 29. Then the answer there we can see now, they said you must round it off to the nearest whole number. Therefore, this one is going to be 14 units. That is the distance now. That would be 14 units. Okay, right. Boys and girls, now I believe now you understand this one now. The perimeter, that is the distance around the shape. Therefore, you must just add that one. Also remember the formula that we have learned now in grade 9 as well as grade 10.